What's up, guys? Just wanted to make a quick video of my top 10 Sega Genesis games. Sega Genesis is such a great console. It was actually my first system that I ever owned. I still play a lot of Sega Genesis games today. Usually I use the Sega Nomad. I play about 30 minutes before I go to bed. It kind of like soothes me. Play like an action RPG here or beat 'em up there just to get that out of my system, and then I go to bed. But the Sega Nomad is such a great system. I just plug it in the wall and play my games. It's great. But anyway, guys, let's get started here. The first game I want to talk about is General Chaos. Now this is a very unique strategy game. It's like real-time strategy where you control 4 or 5 guys on the battlefield against another 4 or 5 guys. They each have their like own unique weapons. One could be like shoot fire. Another guy like throws grenades, and one guy's like has a mortar and one, like heavy assault weapons. And you just control them like one by one, just kind of like moving around. But you don't take turns. It's real time, so it's a lot of fun. And if you can find this game and it sounds like it's up your alley, check it out. It's a very unique game. I haven't really encountered a lot of games like this before, so General Chaos is a lot of fun. Next, we have Contra Hard Corps. This is exclusive to the Sega Genesis. It's a classic, great Contra game. I love Contra. Everyone does. So it's challenging. So if it's not really that well known, but it's a great game. So check it out if you're into Contra and you haven't played that. Let's see here. Now let's just talk about my favorite game. I think on the Genesis, I can't believe I like a puzzle game and as my favorite game, but just I love linking these combinations together to make the biggest combination, and playing this against the computer or a friend. It's more fun with a friend, but they're both fantastic. So Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine is my favorite puzzle game of all time, and probably my favorite game on the Genesis. Very close to my second favorite game on the Genesis is Gunstar Heroes. This is just a great shooter, side-scrolling shooter. You play as that kid on the front, and the weapons you play with are awesome. You can get upgrades. It's a little bit of like an RPG, but not really, where you can like level up your weapons and get really cool guns. And the platforming is very good. It feels very accurate. It's a fantastic little gem on the Dreamcast. All right. Next, we have Wonder Boy in Monster World. Now, this is a great game. It's a side-scrolling action RPG where it's a little slow, but for people who aren't really that schooled in RPGs, it's the perfect beginner RPG. You go around. The fighting mechanics are easy. Just like one button, swat the enemies, get cash, go buy boots, and then you get more cash, then go buy a better weapon. It's very simple. Platforming is very easy. But it's very addicting, and the colorful for the Sega Dreamcast, or for the Sega Genesis is very colorful, which is kind of rare for, I guess, Genesis games. I feel like they had more of a darker feel to them than the Super Nintendo. So check out that game if you want to play an easy action RPG. I won't count this as one game, but Toe Jam and Earl, wow, what a fun 2-player game on the Sega Genesis. It's probably the best 2-player game on the Sega Genesis, hands down, and just unbelievable game. Looking for their spaceships, so check out Toe Jam and Earl. It's great. All right, next, probably my second most played game on the Sega Genesis, and that's Turtles Hyper Stone Heist. And this is like again an exclusive to the Sega Genesis, kind of like the Turtles game, Turtles in Time, but has a little bit of a different feel to it than that game, but plays the same. Great game, not that challenging. I think it's a little easier than Turtles in Time, but the enemies are very, very tedious. You see a lot of enemies. It helps when you play with someone, but when you're playing a single player, you're going to go through tons and tons of enemies. So it can get a little boring at times, but it's still, I mean, if you're a Ninja Turtle fan like I am, it's an awesome game. Okay, this is pretty obvious too. Streets of Rage 2, probably next to the Turtles game I just showed you. This is probably the second best beat 'em up on the Sega Genesis. It's classic. It is Genesis. It is early '90s gaming. It's great. It's great. All right. Kid Chameleon. This is kind of a rougher copy of it, but wow, this game is so much fun. I wish they would have not made it impossible to beat. There's like, I don't know how many hundreds of levels there are, but it's some ridiculous number of levels that you can't beat this game. It's like impossible. I don't know if anyone's ever beat it, but anyway, it's an awesome, perfect platformer. It's called Kid Chameleon because you transform, you get like different suits, and you transform into maybe like, I don't know, there's a lot, I haven't played this for a while, so I don't want to actually say anything and then mess it up and get people mad, but you can transform into a lot of different cool things, like get on a skateboard, stuff like that, and it helps you progress through the level, whether it's like hammering through cement or like jumping higher or climbing a wall or something like that. It is such a cool, unique game. Again, I just wish they did not make this game so impossible to beat. Alright, now Golden Axe is, again, this is the third beat 'em up I'm talking about, but this is, again, Genesis, classic Genesis games. Very, very, very fun beat 'em ups. Great two-player games. I mentioned this in my my games to play with your girlfriend. So much fun to play with your girlfriend or a friend that's a girl because it's simple. So like anyone can play these games, and you know the learning curve is easy, but you know tough to master. Kind of games. I say that a lot, but it's fun riding around on animals. Are you kidding me? That's like, oh my god, it's the first time you could do that when I remember in any game. So check out the Golden Axe series if you're into beat 'em ups. Now that's my top 10 games, but my noteworthy ones are that almost made the list are Ghostbusters, classic like platformer shooter game. One of the probably the best Ghostbusters game ever made. There are newer ones that are good, but this one's the best. All from NES all the way to current gen. And then this is a great shooter. I didn't mention this because it's on the SNES too, so I wanted to focus more towards like exclusive games. But this is a great shooter. A lot of fun. It's a little different though than the SNES version. So anyway, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. But that's a great lot of Genesis games. If you haven't played any of them, please check them out. They're all fantastic. So till next time, guys.